All right, Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of the state of Michigan, excuse me, man, she laid out a plan to reopen the schools come, was it August or September? Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And even talked about possibly canceling sports in certain regions in high school. So it's funny how they can allow pro sports teams to, commence and, get back to training and possibly baseball coming back, and they're going to take high school sports away from the kids. But let's talk about it. So basically it depends on which phase the state is in. Obviously we are in stage 4 down, in the southeast Michigan, I think it is. And I believe central Michigan is more in stage 4. The upper peninsula and upper northern Michigan is in stage 5, where they have gyms, bars, movie theaters, and stuff of that nature. And the two main hotspots for the coronavirus when it started was Wayne County and Oakland County. So a lot of the other states, the guys that were down at the Capitol building, they actually had a gripe, which I didn't agree with them bringing guns to press a female mayor, which was whack. They wouldn't have brought no guns to Rick Snyder. But that was weak, but they had a point because they part of Michigan really didn't have the COVID-19 because the high traffic areas where the main airport is down there in Romulus. All right. So they actually had a gripe, but I just think they went the wrong way about it. So we still in stage 4, if my memory serves me correctly, salons, barbershops. But the way she was speaking at the press conference, and I put the article link in the description, I like to read it more than listen to it because there's so many things when I'm trying to watch something. When I'm watching something, I got so many different distractions, so I just like to read it and go somewhere peacefully. So, but I said the article links in the description, so if you want to jump ahead and read it, or you click on Detroit.com, they got the full interview, I believe. But my interpretation of it was this: if we go back one more step, won't be no school in the fall, in-person school. But people thought today she could announce phase 5 opening. She said that's not going to happen. It was supposed to open by the 4th of July. And how they laying it out is this: kids basically and staff members are going to have to wear face coverings and medical masks. All right, 6 through 12 have to wear them all day in the hallway, in the classroom. Okay, K through 5 only has to wear them as long as they just stay out of contact with the other kids. So K through 5, they don't have to wear them in the classroom. All right, so that's kind of the premise of it. They also talking about in parts that are, or in people that's in phase 5 and 6, they don't have to have social distancing between the class. So they want 6 feet apart from the desk. It's recommended for them, all right? But they don't have to do it. So the teacher doesn't have to be 6 feet apart from the student, and the students don't have to be 6 feet apart from each other in 5 and 6, I believe. You go to 4, then you have to have social distance. And that's the issue, and I'm going to start there. That's the issue with Detroit. Detroit has got 30 or 40 kids in the classroom. The last time I probably seen less than probably 30 kids in the classroom was when I went to a private school. My first 6 years of, or 7 years of grade school. And that's the last time I actually had like maybe 20, 25 kids in our classrooms. It's the last time I experienced that. Other than that, I went to a performing arts school after that. I wouldn't say it was super jam-packed, but I think we was a little bit north of 30. High school wasn't that bad. So I've never been in a jam-packed room like that, but I never went to DPS schools until my first year of high school. But it still wasn't jam-packed. I went to a very, very small high school at first. So, but I do have a daughter, and I've seen them pack them classrooms up. So it's a lot of chance when you got 35, 36 kids, almost 40 kids sometimes in a classroom, and you ask them to social distance. They also said they got $256 to help the state and the schools, get up to par with sanitation and social distance. But the issue is here when you go into the inner city. They would, to maintain social distancing, they would actually have to open up some of the schools they shut down. Seriously. Some of the schools they shut down in Detroit, they'll have to reopen them and they would have to take at least half the school population and send them to the next nearest school. Do that to the next school, and the next school, and the next school. That's what they will have to do to even come close to being able to social distance. So if they don't get the schools up to 5, at least in the Metro Detroit area, you know, it can't be no school year this year. Forget, 3, 2, 1, and we sit at 4. If you sitting at 4 and you have to social distance before with the students, there's no way that you can be at 4 and not social distance. I don't care if they got masks on or not. And I'm gonna get to that part about the masks. And my interpretation of it is they have to be at 5 and 6. Real talk, they have to be at 5 and 6, where it's recommended that you do, social distancing. They have to be at 5 or 6. Now, and it's obviously not enough time for them to refurbish those schools, so that's out. So what they would have to do is take half the school population and put them in a virtual class. That's what they do. And you know how many kids don't have a computer, don't have internet, you know what I'm saying? So that money gonna have to go to, getting kids that need internet, computers, and resources, that type of stuff. So either way, they're gonna be out of a lot of money. Or what I also recommend is you would say you would have virtual. Okay, I got 2 phases here. This is gonna be a longer video, probably the longest video I've done here, other than live stream. And I'm just want to get ideas back because I want stuff to get back. I want these kids to be able to go to school and perform in sports and get scholarships and all that good stuff. Okay, they can do it a few ways. They can say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they have a certain like B crew or whatever. They go to school those days, right? Tuesday and Thursday classes, those are the virtual groups. But the following week, they turn into Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, and they go to school for 3 days. And then the kids that, the previous week they went 3 days, they go to 2 virtual days. That's one way they can do it. Or they could say, for 2 weeks, I would say this 2 weeks, y'all do in class. Because think about it this way, for 2 weeks, you go to in class, the next 2 weeks, if anybody gets sick, they can quarantine for 2 weeks. So 2 weeks in class and then 2 weeks on virtual, they quarantine. The crew that's not in class for the first 2 weeks, they virtual for those 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks of the month, they go to school. So I think those are the two or the 2 things they most likely can do. Either the 3 days on, 3 days in class, 2 days virtual, and then the next week the virtual kids go 3 days in class, and the in classroom go 2 days virtual. Or I think the better idea is 2 weeks on in class and then 2 weeks virtual, and then you have just 2 groups. But the ideal scenario for them to, even if they in 5 or 6, in my opinion, is to find a way to refurbish enough schools, which ain't enough time, to refurbish enough schools and split the population up in the class and from the school. So if you got Peter Vital sitting there, I don't know what's the closest, middle school or K through middle school there that they go to. Whatever's the closest one, you take half the school population and put them in Peter Vital, and that's how you would do it. But I think the 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off is the best thing they can do. So she's saying that, and then let's talk about the kids wearing masks. As a kid, I couldn't even keep a hat. My mom used to beat me on my ass. Well, I can't say that. I used to get in trouble because I couldn't keep my hat and my gloves. So you expecting, and I'm not just talking about K through 5. You expecting K through 12. Even it's grown people that can't even keep their purse and their wallets. So you expecting kids to keep up with face coverings and masks. And in this scenario, a face cover not good enough. I don't care what they say. You need a medical mask around your face to be 100% protected. Especially if they're not going to be able to social distance. So kids in masks, and they saying, well, you have to wash your face coverings every day. Everybody don't have a washing machine and a dryer, and everybody not going to wash their mask in the in a sink and dry it. You talking about the responsibilities of kids. And then you got parents that's working. They barely got time to watch the kids, and really it's the big kid or the auntie watching the kids, and they really don't care. See, what Gretchen Whitmer don't understand, and what a lot of white people don't understand, is how messed up, I'm glad I didn't cuss, how messed up it is in the inner city. Because we don't have a lot of two-parent households like they do, in the middle class, or it's really no middle class, but in the upper echelon classes, we don't really have that. So mom can't stay on you to get your study habits like that. And that's why it's important for black people to really hone in. And when you procreate as a man and as a woman, you have to have two parents there. Today's society is a two-income household. And it's also always need to be a two-parent household. So if your mom work mornings, your dad work afternoons and nights, it's always a parent there. So you can make sure they can stay on this. But this is this own pandemic that's plaguing most inner city neighborhoods, is that there's really no supervision. So you're really trying to be put the hands of responsibility in the oldest child. It's not gonna work out. That face cover thing is a horrible idea, because kids not gonna keep up with their face cover unless you're gonna take some of that $256 million and give the city of Detroit face covers. It's over. It's over what, 10,000 people that's expected to be evicted after July 15th. So at what point do she go to phase 5? Because it got to be before July 15th. Some people don't have a job to go back to, and it's coming to the point where she did fund. The city got $31 million. If you don't follow my videos, they got $31 million to help with, just for the city of Detroit, for rent relief. Now the state has $51 million to help for rent relief. Okay, but the problem is, it's not going to be a lot of money. The landlords get to claim it, and they're going to lie and misuse the money, in my opinion. So she's going to have to move to stage 5 by July 14th. It's no other way around it, because if she's not going to extend the state of emergency past July 15th, people that work at the theater, the bars, the gyms, you know what I'm saying, they have to go back to work. The state is $3 billion in the hole. But to move on about the schools before I get to that point, like, this mask thing is just it's just not gonna work. Kids are not gonna keep up with their masks. They're gonna drop them. They're gonna lose them. And then you got the kids that have weaker immune system with sickle cell and bronchitis, and some of the kids that got type 1 diabetes. So they might have to be exempt from coming to school, and that's unfortunate. And also they talked about, basically if your region, I think in stage 5 or 6, it won't be no sports. And maybe it's 4, but I think 5 and 6, there will be no sports in the state of Michigan as far as high school sports. So a lot of people starting on Twitter said we need to do better, social distance and all that. But my whole thing is this. All right, and I want to see y'all play high school sports. I wanted to go to a few games this year, Friday nights and Saturdays and all that good stuff, and all the classes they have. They still had one in Eastern Michigan for football. I want to see y'all ball out. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, and everybody want to see the best, athlete ever in the state of Michigan, and I think he will go down, Mighty Bates. But put it to you this way: what's going to change between today, June 30th, and let's just say September 2nd or 3rd, whenever they go back to school? Nothing, unless a vaccine come out or a cure come out. If a cure don't come out between now and then, nothing gonna change. You can quarantine all you want to. You can stay at home all you want to. It's some things essential that you have to do is go to the shopping mart. You have to go to work, and the chances of you catching it is a big chance when you go into places like that. So you put all these kids in the schoolroom, in a room, somebody gonna catch kids spread germs, especially in the winter. It's gonna get bad. Germs spread faster in the cold. That is an actual fact. Right? It spreads faster in the cold. Kids and teenagers spread germs easily. So what's the chances, and I'm going to just put this, what's the chances you're going to be able to keep kids 6 feet apart? Timmy going to hit Bobby. Brittany going to hit Tiffany. They going to be huddling up, going to the bathroom. It's impossible. So until there's truly a vaccine, you feel me? School shouldn't open. I wouldn't feel safe sending my kid to school. School should not open unless there's a vaccine or a cure, or this disease just disappears. It just makes no sense. Cause one kid get an outbreak, it's over with. But then again, how do you know they got an outbreak unless somebody shows symptoms? A lot of people ain't even showing symptoms. So if one kid go to the doctor and test positive for COVID, you're gonna have to shut the whole school down. And they're not gonna be able to test. It's just gonna be if you show symptoms, and then everybody that came in contact, everybody in the school got to get tested or quarantined for 2 weeks. School gonna be shut down. So if they want to roll with the best idea is the 2 weeks in class and 2 weeks virtual, and have an A crew and have a B crew, you know what I'm saying? That's the best way if they want to open schools. But the mask situation is absolutely going to be atrocious. It's not going to be right. It's just stupid idea. Kids not gonna keep up with a mask. Can't keep up with hat and gloves and shoes and belts and stuff of that nature. So, other than that, I think she's gonna rush. I think they're gonna eventually rush to stage 5. The economy in Michigan is too bad everywhere. They're gonna rush. Some people walking it back. Arizona, Texas walking it back. But honestly, another $1,200 stimulus check ain't gonna help nobody out. Honestly, you can't take the money out the beauticians, the nail techs, the barber's hand. It's just the survival of the fittest, like Bob Deep said. Survival of the fittest. You gotta open the economy back up, and I've been saying this, and you just gotta take a chance. People die every day. It's just the nasty reality of it. You know, people die by the hand of another person. People die from, asthma attacks. It's just gonna be something you have to live with. And it's the sad, honest truth. It is, and nobody wants to lose anybody. I don't want to even lose my worst enemy, because you can't get that back. But for Whitmer, she's gonna open up stage 5 pretty soon. If they do start to walk it back, then there's gonna be a lot of buildings, a lot of empty mall centers, shopping malls. The mall's a lot of people gonna fall off, and we never gonna recover. This is gonna be worse than the Great Depression. So, in my opinion, you gotta take risks. It's a sad opinion. People gonna be mad at me, but you gotta take risks. Either you risk the economy never bouncing back, and we going into some type of worse than the Great Depression, worse than recession, or you gotta let shit open and handle it by how it goes. But in the same world, no matter how much you quarantine, no matter how much you enforce a stay-at-home order, you can say the numbers are all going down, but guess what? Evictions are going up, unemployment is going up, people got high-ass DT bill, water bill, everything is high. Nobody is cutting, nobody no slack. Only thing they telling you is we won't shut your water off, we won't shut your lights and heats off. That's the only thing. But once the state of emergency is lifted, DTE gonna want that money July 16th, 12:01 a.m. They're gonna want their money right now. At that point. Your landlord, he ain't talking about, if he don't get that relief money, he ain't talking about no 12-step payment plan. He trying to give you the boot like Manolo and get you up out that house, get you up out that apartment. It's the sad, honest reality. We have to go back into our lives. Vaccine or no vaccine, cure or no cure, it's just the survival of the fittest. So let me know what you guys think. I think this is obviously my longest video I've ever done. So I do appreciate the love, support, man. Keep sharing the videos. You want to make a donation to the channel, Cash App, PayPal, inscription. Best way to donate is share the video. Don't forget, check out the channel out, Goodfellas Sports TV, right here on YouTube, man. Check it out. We talk everything, sports, news, current events, a little bit of politics. Don't like to get too political, but I'll put that Detroit News article link in the description. You can read it. I'm pretty sure I missed a few minor details, but let me know what you guys think, and would you send your kids to school or not? I asked in the community tab one time for the one time we done.